Hey everyone, David here. So it's been about a week or so. You guys checked out my unboxing of the Cloud 2 gaming headset from HyperX, and I'm now ready to give my full in-depth review on the gaming headset. So if you guys don't remember, my current headset of choice is from Logitech. It is the G433 gaming headset, which can also double as just an ordinary headphone headset type thing where you can use it for gaming or for casual music playing or audio listening of any kind. And so far this was my go-to for any kind of audio that has to be personalized, whether it be going to the gym or playing a video game. And up until this point, I thought the audio quality as well as the accessibility and the comfortability of these headphones was actually rather great. I didn't think anything else would come close to it, at least within its price range, because these usually retail between $80 to $100. But then I got my eyes opened over to the Cloud 2s from HyperX, or the parent company Kingston. And these are it right here. I finally got bit by the bug, especially after some things were kind of pulled here and there at work to where I didn't necessarily have to pay full price, but I pulled the trigger on this headset, and I'm like, all right, let's see what exactly is all about, because I've given them a test run ever so often at work where we have the little display model that other people have put on their ears. Gross. However, I never really experienced one out of the comfort of my own home, and also tested it out with different applications, whether it be with gaming or with listening to music or editing a video, no less. Now, after spending a good time with them, I can honestly say, yeah, I can maybe, just maybe, see what other folks are all talking about with this gaming headset. So let's talk about the headset itself and that construction that so many folks were saying is top quality and is exactly the reason for why you're paying nearly $100 for these headphones. For one, they really did actually go a little all out with their construction. You got mostly aluminum build around the headset with the band as well as the arches kind of connecting the two cups together here. You'll notice that you got a little bit of metal right here. There's actually two versions of the gaming headset. One that has the aluminum red brush metal here, and then the other one that has like a much more platinum plated type of color scheme going. Of course, you know me, as stereotypical as it is for a gamer, this is my go-to color scheme of a very jet black with a little dashes of red in there. Kind of like Iron Man, except he throws in gold with his. Mine is more so black with the red. So I'm actually surprised myself. I have not pulled the trigger on some Beats headphones because that was the go-to color scheme of choice, and that's usually the one that I go for as well. Whenever I customize my characters or choose my own colors for something, I always go for the red and the black. And I'm glad that I went with this version of the headset, so the color scheme really suits me. If you're some of those folks that don't really like the very stereotypical gamer look of having the red and the black, like I said, there's that other option that has black with whatever you see red here is actually like a muted platinum gray. So there's that option. But here, whatever pieces you kind of see of the red are either the metallic brush that you see right here that's very durable and very top quality, but also very flexible. So when you open it up, it actually feels really good to kind of take this whole thing, pull it apart, and put it over your headphones. And it feels comfortable and tight and snug without ever feeling like it's pressing up against my skull. So it's very, very nice that it actually fits very much like the proverbial glove. And that's something that I will give them over the Logitech G433s, because the G433s have a really hard, robust plastic around its framing, and it just has a little bit more rigidness when you open them up, which for construction or for taking a beating, that might just be great. But I will admit, because of that, they do kind of rebound back into each other, to where putting this over my head does feel a little harder. And when I've spent enough time with the Cloud 2s, it's actually really tough to not notice the difference when putting on the headset and how easy and springable they kind of feel clasping onto my head here and feeling snug, while at the same time, like I said, never tightening. And I can definitely see that being a very alluring factor for people that want to buy this for a long-term use. And when I say long-term, I don't mean over the course of years. I mean you're probably going to be gaming for half of the day. You're going to be gaming for about 6 or 7 hours. This actually feels very comfortable around the head, whereas the G433s, I will admit, there has been some occasions where I was nearing like the 4-hour mark playing a video game, but every so often I needed to take breaks for either bathroom or to drink water or something. But one of those external reasons was to give my head a little bit of rest, because I was starting to feel just a little tiny bit of fatigue right here. It wasn't discomfort, it wasn't even pain, far from that, but it was just a little bit of fatigue around my head. I can barely feel these around my head, so that's always great. But on top of that, there's also some top-notch little detailing that they didn't really have to do, but they actually went ahead and threw it in, such as the leather construction around the headband with the little HyperX stitched in there at the top, as well as little red stitching going around holding the entire thing together, along with a very pleathery but very comfortable sponge right there at the top of the head, so prevents from any potential headaches. I will admit I'm a little indifferent about these cables here going mostly inside of the headband up until you get to this point where they come out and then connect to the cup. Kind of wish that there would have been a much more unique and very discreet way to kind of tug this cable somehow somewhere in there to where it's not so obvious, because when taking it out of the box, I was not expecting this. I could have sworn that this thing was a little bit more well hidden, but then it was just gonna sprung out like that. So I'm like, okay, well, if some devious prankster were walking around with scissors and going like this, I'll be pissed. On the side of the cups, which are oval shaped, so they fit their ear rather nicely instead of the very round ones. And I know that some people prefer the round ones over the oval ones and vice versa, so it really is a matter of preference. But on the side, you see right there an aluminum brushed metal plating that has the HyperX logo, so a very cool branding, and like I said, it gives it that quality look. But then when you kind of look at the inside, and I guess this is the one thing I do give the G433s over this one, the cups don't rotate. So they don't really go out of the way when you have them right here and you're not using them. So if you have them over your neck like this and you kind of give them a rest, then you better hope that you're not prone to feeling like you're choking when you have these up against your throat, because unfortunately they don't flush to the body. So that's one luxury that you do find on the G4. See, I can like on the G433s, where the cups do rotate. So when you put it over, it'll be flushed up against your shoulders and they won't get in the way whenever you turn your head. Whereas these right here, you can clearly see right here, it's obstructing my throat quite some form of manner. So yeah, that is a slight little issue, but it kind of comes with the territory of having a very rigid and very durable frame here to make sure that you're getting the best quality to keep these headphones from breaking and from lasting a little, and also to last a little longer. Of course, much like any headset, if I didn't already demonstrate, very adjustable. I do think that maybe they could have been pulled a little longer for people who have really big heads, because I know that we're all out there. But to have that option, it just goes only about that far. In fact, I think that's really where I am at. Yeah. So the cups are completely pulled out and it's barely loose. If anything, I could maybe tighten it a couple notches. Oh, that's too tight. There you go. Yeah, so I will admit it could have extended a little longer. So it could be an issue for some folks, not so much for me, but I can definitely see it for what it would be with other people. But when it comes to the cups themselves, like I wanted to demonstrate, they come, I guess you could say, pre-installed with leather sponges on the inside. At least I'm assuming it's leather. If not, it's like that fake leather, which is like pleather, right there for comfortability. It's a very unique feel, and I'm pretty indifferent to them. I don't necessarily dislike them, but they do feel rather nice. But I think, if anything, when it comes to long periods of time, and also for the upcoming cold season that we have just around the corner, I think you'll benefit just a little more, and that's just me speaking personally, with the extra cloth-coated cups that they threw in on the side. I know I'm jumping a little ahead into the accessories, but I just wanted to show these off real fast because they come pre-installed with the leather sponges, but you could interchange them with the much more fuzzy cloth ones that honestly I didn't think I was gonna like. I honestly thought that I was gonna enjoy the leather ones better because, again, it feeds into that very quality premium finish of the headset. But oddly enough, I like these better. And to switch them, it's very easy, but also very familiar in case you've ever owned a gaming headset. All you gotta do is just tug on them, and then the little piece of leather that seeps into the little divide there of the cup. You just pull it out of there. There goes your leather cup. You take the little fuzzy cup and fit it in. Now the leather cups come with black cloth in the middle. This one actually, the fuzzy ones come with leather cloth right there. It's kind of distinguish them a little bit. But just like the other one, of course, putting them in is a little bit more difficult than taking them off. Taking them off, you just got to pull them and that's it. Putting them, on the other hand, you got to take that little leathery piece or rubbery piece and just fit it right into that little groove all around the cup and just make sure it's snug and tight in there. Again, takes longer to put them on than it is to take them off. But here I have the headset with the fuzzies, and personally, it might not do it so much right now because I have the lights on and that's what's creating a little bit of warmth, but I'm surprised by just how comfortable these fuzzies feel on my head, especially in the morning recently when it's been getting kind of cold here in Southern California and my ears feel a little naked, and I'm like, you know what? This feels rather nice and comfortable. I'm surprised by how much the leather ones were starting to stick a little bit to the sides of my ears when I was using them for a very prolonged period of time, as opposed to these right here that just easily just come off of my ears. Just pull them off and just set them to the side. So that's terrific. Going down to the cord here. Now the cord does not detach here like the G433 did because of the accessibility and interchanging the cables in case you want a longer one, which I was hoping to be the case here because it's attached to the headset. Why is that an issue? Is because despite making the cord threaded with a little ropey thread covering the entire thing and being rather thick, so it's bound to be rather durable enough to sustain some damage. I don't think I'm going to be wearing this cable down anytime soon, so I'm very happy about that. It's just a shame that it's the length is not terrible. It's certainly longer than, well, actually I take that back. I think it's about the length of an NES controller for the new NES Classic, which we all thought was an issue, but that was for a controller. Makes sense. Here, this is long enough if you're connected to, say, a mobile device, because the versatility of connectability of this headset to many different devices is one of the things that HyperX is kind of proud of. It is that it could be connected to the PS4, your Xbox One, your PC, and of course mobile devices. And I guess at this point we can kind of count the Switch in there, with a caveat. You see right here how long this cord is, which is roughly, I want to say about 3 feet, maybe 2.5-ish. If you wanted to hook this up either to your TV, then you better be very damn close to your TV, which in my particular predicament I cannot really do. You see my TV right here, and where I'm sitting for doing this review is generally where I'm sitting. I'm backed up a little more, so I'm going to be like right about here, and it's a little bit off frame, but I'm generally like right here when I'm gaming, so my cable for my headset needs, if I wanted to connect it to a TV, if I'm watching a movie and I don't want anybody else to hear, then the cable would have to go from here, all the way around to the back where my audio jack is, my 3.5 millimeter jack is going to be for my TV. This is not going to cut it. I need an extension. I want to play on the Switch connected to the TV, not in handheld mode, but in TV mode. Same thing. Can't connect to the TV, and my Switch dock is right. It's actually even further, technically speaking. It's like a few inches further where the actual dock is, and that's where the Switch would go. Extension. You're definitely going to need an extension for that. Of course, those are probably going to be the most rarest of scenarios. If you're just connecting it to the PlayStation 4 or the Xbox One, you can easily just connect this to the controllers, and then there you go. That kind of solves your problems. You don't necessarily have to go directly to the console. And of course, it's still long enough for you to be able to connect to your PC if you're playing on PC and you want to connect directly into a 3.5 millimeter jack, and we'll get into the accessories a little bit later. And of course, if you're connecting it to a tablet or a phone, it's going to be just fine. It's in your pocket. That's definitely long enough. Cut. God damn it. I hate doing this. Hey guys, future David here during the editing process of this review. And that following night, I realized something. What you see before you is the HyperX Cloud 2 gaming headset right alongside my personal cell phone. It happens to be a Moto G5 Plus. It's a cell phone from Motorola. And I discovered something. Apparently, there's actually a running error with an awful lot of phones where the headset recognizes itself as having a short when plugged in without the mic. Go ahead and take a listen. So it's because it doesn't have the mic connected that the headset recognizes this as a short and does not filter in the sound over to your headset, therefore rendering them useless with certain phones. I don't know if it's for every single phone, but please be advised. Okay, David, please stop playing there. You're going to get a copyright strike. Stop! Now, let's get to what I honestly consider to be the worst part about reviewing a gaming headset, or honestly just any headset at all. The sound quality. And the reason why I hate reviewing it is because it's also one of the toughest things for me to talk about at work. I work at Best Buy. So when people want to say, what's like the best headset, the best headphones, the best sound, I gotta be honest, I think sound, when it comes to the consumer market, is one of the more subjective things. Because for some folks, the sound quality out of a cheaper headset could be just as good as what they could probably get out of a Beats headphones, because to them, it sounds just fine. And then others are going to be really persnickety, me, about how they want their acoustics, their bass level, and then of course with a gaming headset, the surround sound and what exactly you're getting out of the headset that's going to give you your best bang for your buck, especially when you're using it on different applications. And so with me, I'm primarily using it for gaming and also for video editing. And I've tested it out on video games with my PlayStation 4, most recently with Monster Hunter World, which is the game that I'm currently playing, as well as the videos that I'm editing on my computer, as well as watching movies or videos on YouTube. And so far, the sound quality, I'll admit, is a couple notches higher than it was on the Logitech G433. I'm not going to exactly go into the minutia of the drivers and the kilohertz and the hertz that you're getting and all that. I'm just going to say that it sounds a little crispier and much more acoustic than the G433s did. And by that default, it does sound a little better, but I will admit when it comes to, like, for example, editing my videos, my voice sounds a little, like I said, crispier. There's much more sounds and sounds happening or coursing through than I was able to hear or really pick up on my G433s. When it comes to gaming, it was almost on par. It was very, very subtle to really notice a difference, except that maybe I just heard like an extra channel of sound, considering that these go to 7.1 surround sound and the G433s are capable of doing that, but primarily on the PC, and I'll get to that function a little later with the HyperX Cloud 2s, because it's not necessarily that much different, but I just feel like the sound quality or the drivers or whatever they were able to put into this headset did sound a little better than G433s, but I wouldn't necessarily say it's like, night and day difference. It's not necessarily that to that level. I think it's a little bit more subtler than that, but at least you're getting something that is very quality and top-notch with the sound, at least in the gaming department and the music department. For video editing, when it comes to voices or sound effects or whatever it is that you're hearing that's not traditionally the normal of what people usually listen to in their headphones on the different devices they use, that's where I think you're going to notice a much more significant difference, like I did when I was editing a video and I was noticing that my voice sounded a little bit different than before. Alright, so now let's talk accessories and exactly what they decided to throw in this time to kind of make it that premium package. Now, the G433s, they had their own set of accessories that really made that whole package feel like a very complete set. HyperX, kind of on the same level, except there's a couple things here and there that is a little different, not miles above, with one little accessory that I gotta be honest, I have yet to find a function for. Before we get to that, I just want to talk about some of the basics. Now, one of them I already covered, which I kind of spoiled for myself, and that's the extra pair of cups. The ones that are actually on, which are the fuzzies. These are the other ones that come by default, but you do get an extra set, so whichever one feels most comfortable to you, you get to choose. Then, of course, with almost every gaming headset to give you that, again, premium feel as well as that complete package feel to that entire thing that you're spending money on, they threw in a carrying case. Now, personally, I kind of prefer the carrying case, the one that came with the G433. I cannot seem to find it. It's all the way over there. I really feel lazy. I'm not going to go grab it. But basically, it's like a little pouch and it has a zipper. And it's a very spherical or circular pouch. So it feels better to put the headset into that than it does here, because this is much more, as you can see, the shape of it is more square, so fitting the headset in is gonna be kind of like fitting a round peg into a square hole. So you take with what you get. And even though I really like this material that feels very not only very waterproof but also very shock resistant, even though I don't think it's the best to absorb shocks, but it'll do like the best job that it could possibly could, because it looks like they double layered this thing, so that's always great. I just wish it came with a zipper. And of course, I'm nitpicky at this point, but I really preferred for them to have a zipper instead of the string here, because I never really liked that form of enclosing something where you zip it up and then you take the little piece of plastic and then you just go like that. Don't like that. I feel like so many accidents can happen with something like that, and it just reminds me of the times that I've kind of tightened up my own private parts with my shorts that have a similar thing going on right here where I have to zip it, and never again. Of course, the other basic accessory that needs to come with a gaming headset, but arguably the most important one, the microphone. This is the microphone that does come separate from the HyperX Cloud 2s, which is something that I honestly, before I looked into reviews or little overviews of the headset, I thought this came attached to the headset and you weren't able to take it off, but you can. It's structured in a way where you got the 3.5mm jack there, and then you got this piece that's shaped to go on the side of this cup right here, and then of course you got your microphone here with an adjustable boom and little the little pop filter here at the end to filter out your audio, which is really nice. And I'm sure that at this point, one of you posted in the comments below, hey, the microphone test is at this marker here in the video. Hi, thanks for skipping the majority of the video. Appreciate it. So let's get down to this mic test. Here we have the microphone. Now this brings me to another nitpick that I do have, is that you got the little slot right here where you fit the microphone. What you have to do is remove this little rubber piece, and then that's where you have your peg, or your little hole, and that's where you fit the 3.5mm jack into. Clips into place, and there you have the microphone hooked up to the headset. The nitpick that I have is that rubber piece you removed before detaches. It's not stuck to the headset. I could very well easily lose this, and it's bound to happen, so please be careful with that. But let's put this bad boy on, adjust the mic, and now here is my test for the Cloud 2's headset microphone.
Alright, so from what I can tell, you are now listening to my very beautiful voice coming through the microphone for the Cloud 2 gaming headset. I gave it a test run prior to this review, and judging from the actual quality, doesn't really sound leaps and bounds over your traditional gaming headset. And so far, it's sounding very much like the G433s. This is probably the only facet of the gaming headset that I don't really see being better or worse necessarily out of not just the G433, but my assumption is going to be almost any other gaming headset out there that is worth your buck. It's going to be better than your traditional microphone that you could probably get for like 10-15 bucks at your nearest electronics store. Definitely better than that, but at the same time, it's primarily there to give you that whole like, okay, I just need this for the time being so I can chat with my friends over the internet, through Discord, or through whatever game that we're currently playing in multiplayer, so that they can hear my commands and actually communicate. Other than that, you're not expecting necessarily the most top-notch quality, not even with the blue snowball that you see right here in front of me. But again, gets the job done. This is exactly what you're expecting out of this microphone. All right, with that said, let's jump back to regular audio.
Okay, so now we're back to my good old blue snowball microphone audio here. And as you can tell, nothing necessarily out of the ordinary. It's definitely better than your average microphone, but I honestly did not notice that much of a difference in quality from the likes of the G433's microphone, except that that one claims to be noise cancelling. It does its best. This one also happens to have noise cancelling technology built into the microphone, but it's not necessarily improving the sound quality to begin with. So it is, after all, a gaming headset microphone, so you're mostly here for the audio that seeps out of the headphones. Moving on to the last two accessories that came in the box. One of them is this little thing. Okay, so I did my research, and from what I can tell, this is meant to be an airplane seat adapter where you plug in the 3.5 millimeter cable, you see here, into this, and now you can hook this up to your airplane seat that splits up the audio from left and right stereo, so you can have dual channels going on and not compromise the audio. Your average gamer doesn't necessarily fly. I'm not saying that they can't. It's just on a regular basis, unless you're a game journalist, like the folks at IGN that, they have a flight at 5 in the morning to a gaming convention. Oh, I hate my job. It's only an 8-hour flight, but what? There's a switch where I can take a full console experience with me on the go. Oh, so exhausting. I guess I gotta bring my adapter to hook it up to my airplane seat. Gosh. Idiot. Yeah, as far as I can tell, I have no way, shape, or form to be able to test this motherfucker. I can't. I even tried it on my brand new computer that just happens to have a split up jack for both audio and microphone, and the measurements are off. This does not fit into it. So definitely not the person to ask about this. Do your research online to see exactly how this works, because from what I can tell, my only assumption is that it's an airplane seat adapter, and that's primarily what it's for. So moving on to the last but very essential accessory that came in with the Cloud 2s, and that is going to be your extended cable here that has the USB adapter or USB plug. You got your USB on one end, and then the other end, it's got your full control module for the different parts of your gaming headset. So if you thought, like me, that this cable was a little short, then at least you got this, so you can hook it up to primarily your PC. This is essentially mainly used for your PC, because if you hook it up to your PC, you'll pretty much get not only the same quality of audio, but once you hook it up and you connect it to your PC, this whole thing right here will light up, the little HyperX logo, and that means that it's currently active. When you do that, you can then take this clip right here, put it on your person, and then, of course, like the buttons dictate, you can control the volume of your audio and control the volume of your microphone. Smack dab in the middle is, of course, the 7.1 surround sound button. When you activate that, it's going to give you the full 7.1 immersive experience you are probably coming here to see, or here. Definitely not necessarily the essential cable to have for consoles, because I did test this out on the PlayStation 4. I don't know what I was expecting, like Jason Bateman said, but this didn't necessarily work on the PlayStation 4 to its fullest capacity. In fact, it kind of muted the audio more than anything else, especially when I clicked the 7.1. It's almost like a channel got lost because it's thinking that I'm hooking it up to like a sound system or something, but when I was hearing it through the headphones, it just sounded way quieter than it was to just hook this up to my controller. So if you're going to be using this so you can get that 7.1 experience and also again have really good control over your audio and your microphone, especially if you're streaming or you're talking to other people over the internet, whether it be through Discord or through the game that you're playing or through the network that you're taking part in, then that's where this comes to its full advantage. But other than that, I see this more as personally, I see it more as an extension cable, because I sometimes want to be able to still listen to my computer if I'm editing a video or I'm listening to like a podcast or something, but I kind of want to go across my room. Then that's essentially what this is going to be for. Other than that, if you take your sound very, very seriously and you're primarily gaming on the PC, then this is actually going to be definitely the accessory for you. So, final thoughts on the Cloud 2 gaming headset. And I know that this review went on a little longer than you probably expect for a gaming headset, but hey, I go in depth for a reason. And that reason is that originally, I have a confession to make. Originally, this was meant to be for my possible brother-in-law, kinda, sorta, my girlfriend's brother. It's his birthday coming up. And the strings that I pulled over at work were essentially to get this for him, because It's his birthday coming up. I already have the G433s. Let's get it for him. Then I thought, I'm going to crack it open, test them out, do a review, and then probably give it to him. The longer I spent with these, and the more frequent I started to switch between this and my G433s, from gaming on the PlayStation 4 with these, then jumping over to the G433s to edit a video or to listen to my podcast when I'm trying to go to bed or I'm eating breakfast or whatever, I started to notice a much more subtle difference. And the more I kind of delved into them, the more I started to gravitate more so towards the HyperXs than I did to the G433s. To where prior to going really deep into these, I thought G433 was as good as it's going to get for the price point. But then these started to make me point out little flaws in the G433's systems, from the comfortability around my neck or around my ears, to the actual sound quality difference that I wouldn't have picked up if I hadn't just listened to the same audio clip back and forth, switching between headsets. And the proof is in the pudding that the HyperX Cloud 2s might actually be a little bit better and could very well be justified for being the most consumer-friendly gaming headset out there that gives you the best quality of audio, at the same time also the best quality for the headset that's going to stand the test of time. This is essentially built and put together to be a very long-term gaming headset that, not like I said, long-term in both the sense of the PlayStations that you're having and also the lifetime that you're expecting to have out of this headset before you have to actively go out and buy a new one. Along with the little premium touches that they added to the headset, this is definitely something that HyperX did not spare any expense on. I just do think that the accessories leave a little bit more to be desired, and I just wish that this cable was just a tad bit longer, because I was genuinely disappointed pulling this out of the box and noticing just how short it was, that I'm like, this could possibly be an issue connected to my TV, but that's when I had to pull out the plan B, connect to my controller. As long as you can kind of get past those caveats, I would say that if you have a decent amount of money to spare, specifically $100, I would say that if your emphasis is gaming, primarily PC, then the Cloud 2s. The G433s, for the time being, are now going to become my much more rudimentary or casual headset that I'm going to use for either going to the gym and listening to my music while I'm working out, or listening to my podcast at home, or editing videos. The HyperX Cloud 2s are now going to be my long-term, or long session rather, headset primarily for gaming. And I think that, as much as it pains to say this, I think my brother-in-law just got screwed out of a headset, because I'm keeping these. I'm probably going to buy his own set. Plus, I really don't want to put this thing back in the box after unboxing the whole thing and taking all the accessories and the stickers and all that shit. It's just too much. So, without going any further, I'm going to be giving the HyperX Cloud 2s a very, very, very low 9 out of 10, only because I just wish that the accessories were a little bit more top-notch. Otherwise, this would have been a solid 9 out of 10 and would have been my seal of approval headset to go out and get, bottom line. Other than that, definitely recommend them if you haven't already purchased yourself a very dedicated gaming headset for your needs. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of this gaming headset review. It's generally one of my more watched videos that I have actually on my channel. So please, if you guys liked it, hit the like and share button down below to show your support. And of course, subscribe for more reviews coming soon. Until next time, guys. See you later. The Peter Parker that we know and love was still there. There was never a point where I hated him. I actually enjoyed watching him on screen. Multiple times, he actually did manage to make me laugh with a couple of the quips. Like I said, I felt like he was quipping a little too much, where his hit and miss ratio was a little higher than past Spider-Man that I have watched, both in live action and cartoon.
Ah! Nice move, Webhead. Now you know what a wrecking ball feels like. If I wanted to ride the tilt-a-whirl, I'd have gone to Coney Island.